Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. Today's video we're going to start collecting Warhammer 40,000 boarding patrols, and today we're going to take a look at the Thousand Sons boarding patrol that's soon to be released by Games Workshop. Now in this video we're going to go through, talk about all the units that come inside the box set. There is only 2 of them, but there is a bunch of cool models in here. We'll then take a look at some other options we can use to create a bit of variety with this box set, and then finally finish off the video with a little sample army of 500 points for you to use as some inspiration for starting your own army with the Thousand Sons for Warhammer 40k boarding patrols. And so, to begin with, first of all, we get 20 Rubric Marines. Now, this is a lot of the same model in here, but they are really cool models. Thousand Sons don't have a very large roster of units, but Rubric Marines will definitely serve you well in your boarding patrols. So first of all, you have your Inferno Bolt Pistol on 4 stave on your Psyker Sergeant for the unit, which means you can get some nice psychic powers in there, which is cool. And then you've also got the Inferno Bolt Gun. What's cool about the Inferno style bolt weapons is they're -2 AP rather than -1. Now, other than that, you've got the ability to take Icons of the Flame, where at the start of your psychic phase, if your army is a Cabal of Sorcerers and the Bearers on the battlefield, you generate an extra Cabal point. And then you've also got the Arcane Automata rule. Each time a morale test is taken, it's automatically passed. And all this does, each time an attack with a damage characteristic of 1 is allocated to these models, you get +1 to your saving throw. And in addition, models with this unit do not suffer the penalty for hit rolls when firing heavy weapons in the same turn that they have moved. So some really cool standard rules. Strength and Toughness 4, 2 wounds each, 2 attacks, 3 up save. Everything you expect from Space Marines at that point. The other thing we get is a couple of Chaos Spawn. And Chaos Spawn actually can be taken, even though they're a fast attack choice, by the Thousand Sons. You can include them. Chaos Spawn, 2d3 attacks at strength 5, toughness 5, as well with 4 wounds and a 5 up save. They are AP -2 and damage 2 on those 2d3 attacks. Now they've got some abilities. First of all, they're -1 leadership aura around them thanks to the Fearsome rule, and the Mutated Beyond Reason, where the first time this unit selected a fight in each phase, you roll a d3, and they can get a variety of different abilities on them, from extra attacks, rerolls to wound, and even some cool extra AP. Now looking at where to go next, the first thing I sort of look at with this box set is looking to go for some other characters. And this is where we could look at things like the Sorcerers and Exalted Sorcerers for the Thousand Sons. They're just going to bring some cool Psyker models to our force. Now we do have the base Sorcerers, which have the throw rules, so they don't take up Force Org slots if we do include Exalted Sorcerer, but that's not really apparent because they're still characters in a boarding patrol. But worth noting, if you go play a full-size game of 40k, you can fit them in alongside your Exalted ones. Now, you've got a bunch of different weaponry you can choose, generally either 4 swords or 4 staves on the unit, and then you've got the options of Plasma Pistols, Inferno Bolt Pistols, or Warp Flame Pistols, which are a -2 AP, strength 3, damage 1 flamer that auto hits with pistol d6. Now, if we're talking Sorcerers, we can talk about Ahriman. Now, here he's pictured on a disc in a boarding action. Ahriman can only be mounted on foot, so you won't be able to take the Disc of Zinch option for him, but he does have the Lord of the Thousand Sons aura, where while a friendly Thousand Sons core unit's within 6 inch of this model, each time that model makes an attack, you can reroll hit rolls of 1. Arch Sorcerer means he can reroll psychic tests, and he's got a 4-up invulnerable save built in. Is the Black Staff of Ahriman in melee, which is +3 strength, -1 AP, damage 3. And he's also got an Inferno Bolt Pistol to boot as well. And on top of all that, he has the ability to manifest 3 psychic powers and deny 3, as well as knowing 3 psychic powers from either the Discipline of Change or Vengeance. Now, if we look at some of maybe the cheaper options to bring some bodies onto the table, Zangors, I think, really do bring something to the table in a boarding action. First of all, you've got decent numbers, but you've also got a lot of melee attacks. Generally, if they've got chainswords or those Zangor blades in there, they're going to be 2 attacks each. You're going to get +1 to your advance and charge rolls for the Brayhorn, and you can reroll your morale test with the Herd banner in there as well. A nice, cheap unit to bring to the table. It's going to give you bodies, but also some decent combat weaponry as well. Lastly, though, we have the Scarab Occult Terminators, an elite choice and special Terminator unit just for the Thousand Sons. And they can have heavy Warp Flamers, Hellfire Missile Racks, which are some pretty decent weaponry, along with Soul Reaper Cannons. And you've also got standard on all the model 4 staves as well on your Sergeant, along with Prospero and Kopesh on the unit for +1 strength, -3 AP, damage 2. Terminator armor means a 5-up invuln. Their Arcane Automator means they automatically pass those morale, and they have the all industrial, same as the base Thousand Suns Space Marines. And so here we have our sample army. Now, we've not actually included all models from the box here, but we've built this list in such a way that you can build the units up with all their options and then pick and choose them later. You're not going to have to not build up. And I'll explain that when we get to the Rubric Marines. But first of all, we've decided to include Araman on foot alongside this. You can easily build him up and pin him to a base, or even just build him on the disc and run him on the disc in your boarding actions, just counting him as not being on the disc, I guess. I don't think anyone would care. We've gone for Doombolt, direct damage, Baleful Devolution, and Weaver of Fates, which is a really nice buff psychic power. Then troop-wise, so we've got a unit of 10 and a unit of 5. We've not got any of the heavy weapons in either unit, but because we're only using 15, this means we can just simply build those 2 heavy weapons, put them to the side, and use them when we want to in our list. Same as the unit that we've not included one of the special weapons on. We've only got 1 Warp Flamer on both units. And so the other Warp Flamer, once again, can just be built, put it to the side, and if you want to play around with your different options, you can. Other than that, we've chosen to go with 2 Psychic Powers in there. We've got the Warp Flamer in 1 unit. We've got Spheric Flux on 1 and Twist of Fate on the other. And lastly, we round out the force with a Chaos Spawn at 499. Now, we've got Cult of Scheming. This is mostly for the Psychic Power with them, which allows you to cast it on one of your friendly units, and they can retreat out of combat and still charge and shoot, which is super cool in boarding actions. If you've got some ideas and you've been playing with Thousand Suns in the boarding actions, let us know how you've been going down in the comments below. And so that's the end of the video. We hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our fantastic little community here, we have a Discord server which is linked down in the video's description. Also linked down in the video's description are the best ways to help support the channel. If you would like to, you can do so either by YouTube members or Patreon, or by grabbing yourself some merch at Teespring or at our Ko-fi store. All of them are linked down in the video's description. As a special thank you to our Patreons and YouTube members, we'd like to give you all a shout out. So thank you to our Patreons: Christian Weir, Soren, Kenny Lowe, Outer and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, The Rising Ape, Q Dynamic, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Benjamin Swallers, Redmine, Iron Grinch, Nicholas Colomos, Colorblind Magic, Grimscold, and Andy C. And to our YouTube members: Green Rich Gaming, Ronya, Lock Lorick, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Wolfric Nick, Baroque Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink Nico Fire, Robin Mankiller, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, John Castle, Davis Weird, James Tillman, Gargamel196, and Disco. Lastly, a special thanks, first of all, to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing art with the channel, everyone who helps come and provide the games for everyone to watch on the channel as well, and indeed all our fantastic mods and members of the community who keep our Discord and comment section a fantastic place for all to be. Thank you all once again, everyone. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.